the weird noise that bird decided to make right then. Anyway, welcome to Keto Recipes every Tuesday. I would like to release a video that falls into the keto eating plan. It's an interesting recipe. Um, Calls for riced cauliflower. I've never had that before. So, trying something new today. Cabbage soup. Not particularly crazy about cabbage, but I haven't had it in a long time, so maybe it is pretty good. I told myself once that I need to start um, making recipes before making a video on it, but I'm so far behind on everything. I mean, I need to get things done. My freezer is completely empty. Not because I've been eating keto, but because it's sitting in my freezer so long it actually goes bad before I get around to eating it. Let's go ahead and get into it. Show you what's all in it and how to do it. It's a pretty easy recipe. It's only like 3 steps. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, and here's all what's in it. It kind of looks like a lot, but it's really not too difficult, the recipe. Starting off with 28 ounces of canned diced tomatoes, 1 pound of ground beef. It calls for 1 pound of green cabbage. I might make 2 batches of this recipe because that's a 2-pound head of cabbage. It's like the smallest one I can find in the store. Anyway, 5 cups of beef stock, 1 cup of riced cauliflower, 1/2 cup of diced onions, um, half a cup of, it calls for diced carrots, but the store only had frozen sliced carrots. I guess I could have bought the fresh carrots and cut them up, but where's the fun in that? Um, 1.5 teaspoon, I'm using seasoned salt, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of thyme, and 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley. I think they're expecting fresh parsley, but anyway, that's all that's in it. So let me go ahead and get started. Okay, step 1, I got on medium-high heat. I got the carrots and the ground beef just browning up. The stuff I'm seeing online, it says that carrots aren't spectacular for the keto diet, but I'm gonna guess that carrot carbs are better than cookie carbs or any other carbs. There's purists out there who get their butts all hurt up, but I'm gonna go call a little bit of carrots at a time is okay. I'm not gonna be overly religious on on my keto plan. Can't really be religious on a diet I can't even follow. But anyway, I'm gonna just let that brown up. It says about 5 minutes or so. Okay, it finally got done browning up. I went ahead and drained and rinsed it. The recipe online didn't say to do that, but in my experience with cooking soups that have ground beef in it, you're better off draining that and rinsing that off. So now this is kind of the part that makes me this kind of recipe is my favorite kind of recipes. Basically, just add everything into the pot. The tomatoes, and it made sure to say to leave the juice that's in the can with the tomatoes in there. Just dump the entire can of tomato in there. The cabbage, the riced cauliflower, the onion, the salt, the oregano, and the thyme, and the parsley. And then on top, to help stir it up, I'll pour in the beef stock. And I'll get that all mixed up. Okay, got all that mixed up, so I'll just let it come to to bring it up to a simmer. I think that means it just a bubbling a little. Not quite rolling boil, but just warmed up. It's got to come to a pretty good simmer now, so I'll go ahead and lower the heat a bit, medium-low, and cover that for about 30 minutes. About 30 minutes or until the cabbage is tender. I sampled it right before I turned the camera on, and the cabbage really is not cooked at all. So I turned up the heat a little bit, and I'm gonna let that sit for another 10 minutes or so. That took probably a little bit longer than it should have. I think I had the temperature down too low on the thing. I had to turn it up a bit. So I'll go ahead and turn that off. It's pretty much done now. Gotta get into 8 servings, so we'll get that served up. And yeah, that's a pretty simple soup. One of my favorite kind of recipes. Put everything in a pan and boil it up. Let me show you what it looks like in the bowl. But yeah, that's pretty much done. And there's it all dished up. Um, Ready to go up to the freezer. The recipe online did say that it's pretty good for a freezer cooking and reheating. Um, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Link to the recipe is in the description below, along with my blog and the my Patreon link. Haven't had any hits on the Patreon yet, but here's for hoping. Yeah, that's a pretty good recipe. It looks like. Haven't had it yet, but looking forward to it. Thanks for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and have a nice day.